So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live down at Grayland Park, and TJ, just in amongst the break there, mate. What's the little warm-up booklet that you have there, mate? Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, you've put me on the spot a little bit there, Troy, but no, those are just our game cards that we're developing for all our coaches that are coming into grade and things like that. So we've basically put together some game cards and things like that so coaches can pick them up, and they're waterproof cards, which is quite exciting as well. So it's our first sample for us.
High-tech technology there
it is.
Out of the footy department.
It is, mate. I just, we were thinking about this a few months back, and, there's a lot of coaches that come into grade now that are parents that, aren't necessarily, coaches. They just put their hand up because there's no one to coach their kids' team. So I thought having something like this will help the new-to-game coaches that, might not necessarily know how to coach. They're just putting their hand up just so these kids can actually play some rugby league. So.
Well, mate, first off, just looking at the top couple of cards, I'm thoroughly impressed with the look and the feel of them. They look pretty professional. How do we get them?
So that's our first sample one, man. We've only just got them back, so we're actually looking to get these printed over the first couple of days next week.
Yep.
And then we'll also be sending them out to our under 6 grade coaches as well once we get them done. So we'll be looking to get those out over the next maybe 1 to 2 weeks.
Okay, and how many on a deck?
At the moment, there's 32, but we're going to be looking at adding onto those as we go. So we've actually colour-coded the cards as well. So red obviously being warm-up. We've got blue ones there for cool-downs. Our grey ones are our actual game cards, so they have fun games and things like that for the kids to play, but it's also a development tool. So within those games, they can actually develop the skills required. Also got my young model kids there as well. They're on our coaching point cards, which are the green ones. So what we've done there is we've actually put some coaching points on there for new-to-game coaches so they can educate themselves on how to, coach or educate the players on that in particular skill. So, but very excited, man. When Mary, one of my co-workers, picked these up last night, she was sending me pictures, and it's something that I've worked on the last couple of months. So it's exciting to start seeing them roll out.
Excellent work, bro. And I mean, it's I throw in a bro there because I am thoroughly impressed with what I'm looking at.
Thank you very much. Yeah. No, it's good. That's good. We've also got our tackle confidence courses coming up over the weekend as well. So we've got a few of our younger coaches coming down to Cornwall Park. So if you're new to the game or you're looking to get some new coaching skills or techniques and things like that, we're running under 6s and 7s at 9 to 11 tomorrow. It is tomorrow down at Cornwall Park, and then from 12 till 2:30ish, we're looking at doing our 8s to 12s as well. So we've had a few changes in that grade, some very good positive changes with regards to our dummy half and first receiver bibs that we're rolling out. So it's a good opportunity for those coaches that are coaching in that grade to come down, see what sort of fun games that they can be playing at training to educate their kids on how to develop skills better.
Fantastic, mate. Well, listen, we're getting live back to the action, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll be handing back to Corey Rosser as he joins us in the commentary booth as Richmond get ready to tee up for the second half.
Thanks, guys, and well done, TJ, there. A bit of a stitch-up being asked to describe a very visual thing with a non-visual medium as we were looking at a field, but you did well, buddy. So we're back to it, and it's all Bay Roskill at the half. 28 points to 10, they lead this one over Richmond. 40 to play as we await the resumption of play. Referee Anthony Elliott, who always does a great job, one of the best around. So Carl Heaver, in fact it's Annandale, will get us back underway. Kick which bounces kindly in the end down to the corner, but the Richmond line is up nice and quickly. Kenneth Henry played the full 40 in that first half. Brother Ben will have a try, and I would think probably 2 or 3 try assists to his name already. Having a fine day in the number 7 jersey. Ropati, boy, I love it when he spins that ball. It's nice, nice rugby league to watch, the way this Bay Roskill side play. Corey Vogel's had a day out so far as well at the back. Short side they go, Jerome Vogel. Just short of halfway. Ropati to Tempest. So last play coming up now, and they're still in their own end. Now this is the last. Do they know it? You never know with this side. Ball popped over the top. They're going to run it. Vogel to White. White then kicks in field. and received by, I think that's Utah Man, fresh onto the field. So there you go. When the prop ends up with it on last play at first receiver, you start panicking, unless you're Bay Roskill, as Vasu now charges the football back. Former Papakura man, but he's living over in central Auckland these days and thus playing for Richmond. Here's Ben Kossi. Brother Ed Kossi getting pretty close to having a run for the Warriors over the last few weeks as well in the NRL. Seen a couple of rookies unearthed, Rocco Berry and Reece Walsh last week. Reece Walsh, pretty strong debut. Moves into the halves this week. Be interesting to see how he goes there as we approach last play now when Annandale, who is still the dummy half right now, swings it out to Hignett Morgan. Hignett Morgan, lovely ball over the top out to the left-hand side where he links with Michael McKinnon. Pops the ball back in. Now, what's the call here? We're going to have a try. It's going to be to the number 2, Carlos Henry. I thought there may have been a knock-on in there, but play on was the call from Elliott and Richmond. Well, they play to the whistle, scoop it up and strike first blood in this second half.
Yeah, very good start for the second half here for the Richmond Bulldogs. Nice little play down the short side there. Unfortunately, the Bay Roskill, I think it was fullback, but number 1, Leo Sevi, was just unable to tidy up that loose kick there, and as good centres are, following through on the kick and picked up the loose balls to get the lollies there on that try.
Yeah, boy, there's some Kelston talent in action today. Carlos Henry came through Kelston as well. And you look across the team sheet, well, the Bay Roskill team's always made up heavily of Kelston talent, but a couple in the Richmond team as well. We mentioned Connor Lopesi, but on the whole, SAS College Rugby League really proving the goods for both of these sides. As apologies, there was an anonymous crack in the commentary box, which had me and Mr. Ashford on full alert, but she's all good. Hignett Morgan now to attempt the conversion from out wide. Looks good off the boot. Brilliant kick. Even got some applause from referee Elliott, who couldn't help but say, great kick, mate.
Richmond just trying to pull a swift one on Bay Roskill there, standing on the halfway line. Referees giving them the tidy up there. Yeah, it looks like, Corey, they're going to go back to the short kick-off again. Again, this could pay dividends if they can get the ball back and try and swing momentum back into their favour.
A high one from Henry. Oh, just about claimed on the full. Cleaned up by Richmond, and now look out, broken line. Brought back by Ropati Tupai, who's been very good today, tested heavily, but has taken his chances when he got it, scored one of Richmond's tries earlier, and has returned the ball with gusto each time given the opportunity. Annandale clears the ruck, links with Kohiva, and they'll work back through the middle with some of the bigger men now. Fresh legs on the park. Looks like Antonio will fire, a player that I really rated through the junior grades, onto the field as well. Moves now to the edge back rower, Scott Tofo Timotea. Tackle still up their sleeve here, Richmond. Chance to strike a further blow here as Hignett Morgan chips over the top. Henry is the chaser. Can't gather it in, and that'll be a knock on. First by Richmond, second by Bay Roskill. So we'll pack down a scrum here. I tell you what, some of the little deception plays that Bay Roskill come up with have you wondering there. I saw Ben Henry paying very close attention to his fingers before he kicked off there. I had to wonder if that was a decoy for the switch that he was then going to do. It makes a skeptic out of all of us, TJ.
Yeah, that's just that experience playing in there. Trying to get a swift one. You take as many wins as you can off the opposition when you're playing Corey. But again, Richmond have come out firing in the second half here. They've obviously identified something down Bay Roskill's short sides, because it looks like they're playing tramline to tramline at the moment and then just attacking some short side plays. So it's looking like a success story at the moment, but hopefully they can just string some back-to-back sets together as they give away. Oh no, Bay Roskill, penalty against the green.
Control yourself is the call, and I must say to Ben, apologies if you do have a finger injury, Ben, and that wasn't a little trick. So Richmond, this is a really good chance now, a chance to reduce this game potentially back to a one-score encounter. Got some handy trainers, this Richmond team, don't they? You got the Kiwi Ferns coach on there and Ricky Henry, and the Auckland Blue under-20 coach and Alan Ettles. They are not short of knowledge. Work it up through the middle of the park now. This is Antonio Allfire, the former St. Paul's College man. Just to the left of the SAS uprights. Annandale will centralise. This is Alex Kauli-Lupo. Too short as it stands. Annandale looking left, will instead go right. Shuffles play on. Cohiva with the footwork. Two underneath there for Bay Roskill. They're not far though. Annandale, dummies, goes! Hawaii Annandale. Clever little play out of dummy half. Richmond hit back again, and with a kick to come, a chance to make this a 6-point margin. 47 gone here at Greyland Park. And Richmond, well, TJ, they're refusing to go away right now.
Yeah, very good start here by Richmond. You can see Hawaii Annandale there just getting his runners off the ball, just a bit of deception there. And by doing that, what he's done, you can see that the Bay Roskill defender has taken his eyes off the ball, which is a big no-no when playing rugby league. And he has just let Hawaii slip right in there for a nice little four-pointer.
Yeah, poor old Mackenzie Cutter. Last thing he wants to be doing is trying to get down that low from close range to stop Annandale. Big kick coming up, I guess just in the psychology of the game as well, to know that you're within touching distance with another try here. Impressive character from this Richmond team. I've got to say, I think that'll be twice now they've overcome 14-point deficits. Well, they haven't overcome it yet, but they've wrestled their way back into the game. So Hignett Morgan to attempt this conversion. About 10 in from the right-hand touchline. Strikes it, and this one's going to be away. So Waterview Laundromat Richmond Bulldogs 20, Bay Roskill Vikings 28, 48 and a half gone, but we've got a ball game on our hand once again. Twice the scoreline's blown out, but Richmond have clawed their way back into it.
Yeah, Corey, it'd be interesting to see if Bay Roskill change tact here on kickoff. They've been turning, all three of their last tries have come from short kickoffs here, so putting them in good field position on each set. So it'd be interesting to see if Bay Roskill change tactic there.
Injury update as well. Michael McKinnon's just left the field, which is going to cause a reshuffle for Richmond. We'll wait and see how that plays out. Another short one out on the full. Wow. Penalty now on halfway. Annandale's going to kick for touch. Good kick as well, and as a result, they'll start this set 20 metres out from the line. 8 is the gap. Momentum is Richmond's right now. Kauli-Lupo, the former Bay Roskill man, with the first carry. Another charge here from Utah man. In front of the SAS uprights. Annandale shuffles to the right. Oh dear. An unforced error close to the line. Probably just guilty there of taking that little look up. So Bay dodged the bullet that time, but boy, they are welcoming Richmond back into this contest with some of these errors, particularly as TJ touched on, around these kickoffs where if it goes wrong, you're effectively giving the opposition a 35-metre head start. And they get away with it this time, but we'll have to ruck this ball out from inside their own 10. Off the back of the scrum, Kenneth Henry. Corey Vogel. Oh, and I think a flop in there. Yep, flop is the call.
I'll just go back to that play as Richmond knocked the ball on close to the line there too, Corey. Just for those young ones coming through, especially nines and halves as well. I think that was a premeditated play. Hawaii was always running that play whether or not the defensive line did whatever they did. So, obviously that's an opportunity for you young ones coming through, play some eyes up footy and play, to your strengths and obviously identify those things that are happening off the ball as well. And, when defenders do certain things and you make certain plays, I just thought in that one there, premeditated, he was always going to be passing that ball short, which obviously was the wrong play at the time.
Cutter swinging and charging his way to within 20 of the line. Kenneth Henry to Tempest. He's had another good game today, Sean Tempest. Kenneth Henry going low. Annandale's under him. Gets closer than you might have thought originally, though. Cutter, the world's biggest dummy half, swings the ball out the back. They reset now, and Ropati hasn't been tackled too often today. He's been getting rid of that ball nice and early. That time, no choice but to go down in front of the SAS uprights. Henry, looping ball over the top. Still the last. Ben Henry now. He's going to be tackled on the ball here, I would think, unless he can somehow... Ben Henry! Oh, that is incredible. He's dead set, walked about 10 metres with Richmond defenders on him there. Ben Henry, I'd call it the tackle. Let's take a look here on the replay. The strength of the man here. You see he gets the ball off this late pass. And at this point, there is nothing doing on this play, particularly as the second defender joins in. But just keeps charging and charging. Eventually here, Merch isn't over for a try, his second of the day.
Yeah, nice show of strength there by Ben Henry. Again, he's the go-to man on this right edge for Bay Roskill. There's actually nothing doing there either, Corey. So very, very soft try let in there by the Richmond Bulldogs. Hopefully this, again, we saw in the first half a few tries swung back-to-back with momentum. And hopefully that's not a sign of tails for Richmond for the rest of the second half.
Boy, that'd be a frustrated coaching staff. You do all that hard work to find your way back into the game, and you then basically waste one of those tries by leaking a soft one like that. So Tanielu now to attempt the conversion.
It's another big play there too, Corey. Just, again, defender standing. Your job's to get him on the ground and finish off the tackle, right? And there, I saw a couple of Richmond players just standing around there, and unfortunately they paid the big price.
Kick is good. Bay Roskill 34, Richmond 20, 54 minutes gone here in round 4 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. Trust you're enjoying the coverage this year. We are back with Bay Roskill next week, and we're at the home of the Vikings, Blockhouse Bay Reserve. And I believe they're taking on Glenora, so tune in. Coverage for that one from 2 p.m. So bouncing ball, claimed and handed off to Isaleli Kaliopasi, who's a quiet achiever in this team but does his job nicely. As Vogel crabs a la Sam Tompkins style. Got a player down and back play, Hawaii Annandale by the look of it, who's getting back to his feet now. They're 5 short of halfway, and we've got time off now while the injured player is dealt to.
Yeah, just an update from around the grounds there. Corey only got one scored update at the moment, and that's for the Rooster over at Glenora Bears. They're currently leading the contest against Northcote Tigers 36 points to 10.
There you go. So at this stage, the Rooster going nowhere. Back in the possession of the Bears. And they're in control right now. Do keep an eye on aucklandleague.co.nz post-match. Will bring you all of the results. As Bay Roskill play down the left-hand side. Matt White into space. Kohiva coming across. He will not need him. Matt White. He's been provider a couple of times today. This time he's the try scorer. And the Vikings go marching in for another one. They extend the lead to 38-20. Kick to come. And just lethal on the edge that time, TJ.
Yeah, as we look at the SAS instant replay there, unfortunately we couldn't quite get the shot just before that, but again, it's a nice little short side play by Bay Roskill. Obviously, they do a fair bit of work on their 3v2s and 4v3s, etc. at training because they're just running amok down those short sides, and unfortunately Richmond just aren't able to stop them at the moment. Again, we spoke about it earlier about momentum and all the swinging and things like that at the moment, and shows, a simple try from Ben Henry just gives Bay Roskill so much more energy. They're playing like they've got second wind and things like that in the second half already, Corey. So I'm looking to extend this lead even further against Richmond.
And if you're another Fox team watching this, TJ, surely you're looking at this and, let's not get carried away. I don't think Bay Roskill were pre-season favourites at the start of the year and probably, certainly on paper at least, still aren't quite there with the big teams. But if they play this style and get it right, it's going to be very hard to contain this team. Yeah,
I fully agree with you. What's interesting on it as well is it's because they're not playing your traditional or typical style of rugby league. Most coaches, whether or not they're okay to cater to those changes as well defensively, because when you've got a shifting line like that, you've got to have certain defensive patterns and things like that to help shut that down. So it's actually quite interesting. Looks like Bay Roskill have obviously shown their hand on how they want to play this year in 2021. So as a coach coming up against them, you'd think Glenora would be doing their homework over the last 2 weeks and looking to make sure that they can tighten up on their edge defence on those long shifts.
So Kaliapasi brings the football back. Ropati just about skipped out of the first one. Henry, it's on again. It's Timothy Vogel, in fact, my apologies. The dummy half looks like it's been interchanged. So that's 0, a touch in there. And Kaliopasi now gets hit hard by Ofaya.
You see there on that long shift too, Corey, obviously that's not the play that made them score points from it or anything, as you see a break here by Leo Sevi.
Yeah, Leo Sevi now streaking down the right-hand side. A Goosey in there, looming in support. It's a hat-trick for Ben Henry. The damage done by Leo Sevi down the right. Ben Henry looming in support. He gets his third. Bay Roskill will have lost count of theirs, but it's 44 points.
If I was giving Dally M's away today, Corey, Ben Henry's definitely my man so far, time to date. But again, as we look at the SAS instant replay, this try has come off a few plays before that as well, Corey. So I mentioned just before the break was made, with the early shift, what it's doing is it's getting those outside defenders up to make that contact. And it's freeing up some space back through the middle, but also down the short sides as well. So what it does is it opens up the space defensively for Richmond, and Bay Roskill are just taking the right opportunities, and they've got some smart men in Ben Henry and the Ropati as well in their half. So they're just making the right decisions at the right time and scoring some nice tries today.
Nicely explained, TJ, and should say great to have you on board and able to, I guess, break down some of those finer intricacies of the game. Bay Roskill, there's certainly plenty to do in terms of breaking down the way they play, but it's a joy to commentate.
Yeah, apologies to our other co-commentator, Troy Hardy. He's seemed to have lost his job.
I think to be called a co-commentator, you have to talk, and he seems to just sit quietly in the corner there. And we do love Troy. Former Richmond man himself, I believe. Played a little bit here back in the day, along with Point Chevalier.
He's got some good stories he has from his Richmond days as well. He actually told me one a couple of weeks ago. But stalwart of the Auckland Rugby League, Mr. Hardy.
It's a beautiful day for rugby league.
Yeah, the goal kicking forward, I've heard.
Just a big shout out to all our officials as well, Corey, our middles and also our touchies. I've bumped into Lau on the in the car park on my way in here. I said I'll give him and his wife a shout out. So big shout out to all our online or all our on-field officials. Definitely always short of them. So if you're looking at picking up a whistle or helping out, getting into that sort of thing, definitely contact the Auckland Rugby League and we'll point you in the right direction to help get you an extra thing involved in rugby league.
Work down the left, a broken tackle. Matt White, he's fending them off for fun. Looming in support is Vogel. It's going to be Jerome Vogel that runs it in. Matt White with a powerhouse run down the left and inside. Well, he was spoilt for choice in the end. Had numbers everywhere and now, well, this is getting to tough viewing now for Richmond. Look at this though, one. There'll be a second one in here. The power of this guy, TJ. He set up a couple of tries in the first half. He's really come to life in the second. Yeah,
we've seen they've had a little bit of a positional switch from last week. I believe he might have been playing on the wing, or they had the other Vogel playing on in the centres last week. So the change has been made has paid dividends there with a couple line breaks today by the Bay Roskill centre, and obviously good support play there, having 3 or 4 numbers in the picture as well. So that's, as a coach, that's very pleasing to see.
Just as we await the conversion, I just want to give a huge shout out to the Richmond club members down here, many of whom have been here since about 5 o'clock in the morning, helping set up and run the day here. It's been an excellent day, and these are people that do it free of charge and for the love of the game. So a big thank you to all of those people, and indeed our volunteers across the ground who will be out in force today with the resumption of mini-mod and junior and senior international grades as well. Kick is good. We're over the half-ton. Bay Roskill 52, Richmond 20, and worryingly for the Bulldogs, TJ, there's still 20 minutes to play.
Yeah, it is. They just have to find a little bit of energy here and try and play set by set. And what I mean by that is, take it set at a time and hopefully either, control Bay Roskill on this set here and look to force an error or something like that. But they definitely need the ball in their hands because it looks like they've had a fair bit of petrol taken out of the tank at the moment in the last 10 minutes.
So ball bounces up to Vogel. That's Corey Vogel. It's getting a bit confusing now. I think there's 2 Vogels on the field, both wearing headgear. Another Vogel not wearing headgear. And here's the biggest Vogel, Ezra Vogel, who, well, probably doesn't get the spectacular applause that the others get, but boy, he is a competitor in this team. Tanielu stepping. You mentioned before Ben Henry getting the Dally M points, TJ. Is it possible to give him 4 Dally M points? He's just about been that good today.
Yeah, he has been, man. Again, as we see, he makes a little break there. Oh, loose ball. Referee Anthony Elliott's called 6 again, is he?
Yeah, and then Mackenzie cuts it with an error in there. So I just about put the mock on poor old Ben Henry there. And, oh dear, we've got a player down injured there. So it looks like we'll have a stoppage here, so we'll have a pan around perhaps the beautiful Greyland Park here and highlight some of the other things going on in the Auckland Rugby League. TJ, we touched on the start of the SAS College Rugby League this week. Really looking forward to this one. St. Paul's, Kelston, the usual suspects are back. Mags looked very strong in their pre-season game. But how good to have De La Salle back. They've unearthed a number of NRL players over the years, and they're a team that belongs in this comp.
Yeah, it is. And talking with the development side as well, in terms of Mary Parsi, who runs the College Rugby League, we've actually had quite a bit of growth in the College Rugby League space, so it's very, very exciting to see some of those schools come back in here. De La Salle, big catchment area out there in Mangere, and obviously some great talent that's come through not only that school but also that club and that area as well, so definitely looking forward to seeing what they can put on the paddock this year. I saw a few highlights as well, obviously, of their pre-season game against Mags. They look quite sharp as well, mate.
Yeah, and great to see Motu Tony, of course, one of the big men at the New Zealand Rugby League. But on Wednesday when I saw him, he was in the gumboots and the fluoro running the line for De La Salle. I know it's a project he's certainly really passionate about, so really helpful to have guys like that involved in that competition as well. Of course, the girls kicking off in the SAS College Rugby League as well. We've unearthed some awesome talent through for that in the last couple of years, as we see a player now being helped from the field, and that looks to me, I don't think it's Waiki Annandale, just trying to catch the hair there. And it may actually be Hawaii Annandale, I think it is. So our thoughts with Hawaii. Let's hope that is a swift recovery. He'd only just come back from a pretty bad ankle injury, so let's hope that's nothing too serious. So scrum to pack, Richmond feed. 18 to play by our count. Here's Carlos Henry. Try scorer earlier in this half.
Yeah, Richmond looking very, very bunched here, Corey. So easy for Bay Roskill to compress their defensive line and win those, start winning that ruck.
Antonio will fire. Meets Mackenzie Cutter. Henry shuffles play on. Good slide though from Bay Roskill. And a flop there from Joel Leosevi. Talked about it last week. Big brother Justice was set to be a key part of this team, but unfortunately tore his ACL in a preseason game. So he's sitting on the sideline.
Yeah, I think he's actually been helping with the water over the last couple of weeks too, Corey. So good to, although he's carrying an injury, good that he's still down here supporting his club team and his family members and things like that. So well done to Justice.
Sione Nahi taking the ground. Lopesi's back on the field. Shuffles to his right. Kalhiva. Oh, wow, what happened there? Kalhiva gave himself up, I think, because of an obstruction and then ended up getting absolutely whacked by Ezra Vogel. Antonio will fire. Nice offload. This is a bit more like it from Richmond. Harrison Sutton's going to go close here. Black jerseys all around him. Oh, he just about got the ball free. Lopesi clears the ruck, goes to his right. Sione Nahi's over for a second. Well, the game's all but gone, but Sione Nahi over for a nice try, and the big men were key in that one. Antonio will fire with a nice late offload, and Nahi puts the head down for, I would think, a rare double.
Yeah, as we look at the SAS instant replay there, nice little play here by Richmond. Again, he proved there was a little block play there, which I can't see. I think it was Antonio. I think, obviously, looking at the play before that, Antonio has a big body and he's caused a little bit of havoc there. So having him running that block play, dragged a couple of defenders there and opened up a bit of space there for Sione Nahi. And big guy like that, obviously he looks to be the go-to man very, very close to those, that try line. So someone that Bay Roskill needs to identify and try and shut down when they get down there.
It's not Peter, is it? If it is, Peter needs a defibrillator.
So back to it. A short one from Tanielu. And it's too deep. Claimed by Kossi. Been pretty well shut down today has been Kossi.
Just an update there as well, Corey, on today's or this week's Rooster clash between Glenora Bears and Northcote. Northcote are slowly pulling themselves back into the contest. Glenora Bears still leading 36 points to 20 out there at Harold Moody Park.
Yeah, and that one's probably got about 5 to go because we had the longer half-time break here, so that will probably just about be done. And it looks like the Roosters staying at Harold Moody Park. Matrix Kalhiva goes to the line and held on to it. Timothy Vogel says, "I'll take you, thank you very much." Hignett Morgan chips over the top. Are they going to let it go here? No, it's pin played at by Corey Vogel. So drop out to come. Hignett Morgan claims it. Here comes Antonio. Off the back fence, driving the legs. Good contact from Bay Roskill though. Chance to add something here for Richmond. Hignett Morgan shuffles play on. Henry. Good scramble though by Bay. Henry did well to stay in the field of play there in the end. Lopesi comes back in field, links with his edge back rower who straightens. That's the 12, Tofa Timotea.
Yeah, Matrix Cohiva just needs to get his hands on the ball here. Corey's been quiet the last couple of attacking sets, and he's a danger man here for Richmond, so the more times he can touch the ball there, the more threatening they are on attack.
Harrison Sutton in front of the Sass upright. Nahi. Oh, the big man's got 3. How good is that? Sione Nahi goes over for his 3rd. All right under the post pretty much, and all off barreling runs. And Sione Nahi, well, if they go on to lose this game, he's not going to look back too fondly on it, but perhaps one for the highlight reel.
Now, again, Corey, as we look at the SAS instant replay, we mentioned this in the previous couple tries from this big man. He's a danger man when it's down there close to the line, and obviously Bay Roskill had a few numbers there as well to stop that try happening, but unfortunately they just made poor contact, first up contact, and a nice try there by Sione Nahi. Hat-trick for the prop. Outstanding effort.
A hat-trick for the prop. 20 the gap with about 12 to go by our count. And I don't dare call it just yet, given the way this game's gone.
No, definitely not. So, shades of Brisbane Broncos versus Gold Coast Titans last night there, Corey.
Yeah, what a game that was. Young Tyson Gamble looking pretty good in the halves. Added something for the Brisbane Broncos. Jermaine Asako, a very own Kiwi as well, covered from a bit of a rough start to have a pretty good game there. A couple of Auckland boys in action, obviously, for the Gold Coast. Aaron Clark, the Manurewa man, and Sam Lasoni as well. So a driven kick-off. And running the ball back now is Antonio Ofaya, who completely gets rid of the first and goes again. Interesting change of tack there, Corey. It's the first long kickoff that they've had all game so far, Bay Roskill. So they've obviously identified that they're just got their wind in their sails at the moment, Richmond, and they've looked to kick deep and keep them down in their own half. Hignett Morgan shows it. Goes back door. Cohiva steps off the right and centralises smack bam on halfway. 10.5 to go. Round 4 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. A stunning game. Something like, if my maths are correct, 84 points scored so far. Cohiva, the chip, the chase. Hang on, we've seen this one before, but Corey Vogel more than up to it. In fact, that's Leo Sevi, I think. So perhaps another reshuffle.
Yeah, here's Corey Vogel. I think he's playing on the right edge at the moment, and Leo Sevi's gone back to fullback.
Hard to keep up with the movements in this Bay Roskill team. Khalil Pasi. I called him the team's quiet achiever earlier. They've got a few of them. Ezra Vogel, Sean Tempest as well, who won't get the headlines, but really are such key members of this setup. It's Timothy Vogel, who's now lost the headgear. Here's Ezra. Tackle still up their sleeve, Bay. Was that forward? Play on is the call. A fend from Matt White. He's taken down on the far left-hand side. Last play coming up now for Bay. See what they finish with. Are they content with a kick or are they going to play footy? It's the latter. Khalil Pasi to Vogel. Kick goes in behind. Chases on. It's eluded to Pai, who does really well to recover it. Well done, young man. Tell you what, he wore a shot between the shoulders for his trouble too. Yeah,
that's a courageous position there too, Corey, fullback, man. Obviously, he put under some hard times there, and he's had a slight error, but he's made up for it and put his body on the line there and saved the try for his team.
Oh, Kossi. Hit hard. That's Khalil Pasi down low. Now Bay muscling up in defence. Vasu. Kossi again putting his hand up. The outside backs rising to the occasion now for Richmond. Probably need to score on pretty much every use of the football now if there are any chance in this game. Last coming up. Beware of the chip kick from Kohiva potentially. Hignett Morgan's going to run it. It's picked off. It's Joel Leosivi. He will trot in and put the result beyond doubt, you would think. Won't get an easier one than that, Joel Leosivi.
Yeah, as we look at the SAS instant replay there, obviously Richmond throwing their caution to the wind at the moment now. They've only got a couple minutes left to try and get the win for this game. And Darius Hignett Morgan, obviously eyes up footy there. And Leo Sevi has just picked out the intercept there. Nice little play from the back row. I rate this guy, man. I actually like him. He's built quite well and very energetic and gets through his workload and stuff like that, but obviously he's paid dividends. I think is that his double today, I think? Or
I think
is that his first try? Yeah,
you'll
he's
have
done
to
well.
Forgive us if we've forgotten some of the scorers for Bay. There's been a lot of them, but you could just see his eyes lighten up there, almost begging Hignett Morgan to throw the pass. He knew it was coming, Leo Sevi, and well, you can't hold it against Hignett Morgan. You had to try something, and unfortunately that may be Hignett Morgan actually being helped from the field right now.
He's picked up a lower leg injury or a knee injury, I think, Corey, but apologies, that's not Leo Sevi's second try. It was that break in the first half that he made with hitting one of the Vogel boys back on the inside, I think it was.
So to add insult to injury, excuse the pun for Richmond, they've lost a couple of guys here as well. So our thoughts with the injured crew as we see a nice moment there. Sean Tempest just showing some concern for Hignett Morgan as he makes his way from the field. So it's going to make next week's challenge even harder, perhaps, for Richmond if they're without a few key men. Potentially their halfback.
Yeah, actually a very costly game for them, Corey. Not only are they not going to get the win, but that's actually both their starting halfbacks as well that have been taken out. So, obviously very, very key positions in a game of rugby league, and be interesting to see what sort of depth Richmond have if those boys can't get better for next week.
So Kohiva to get us back underway. A high one, it's a short one. Vogel says, I'll take that, thank you very much. Bring the football back. 58-32 is the score. Not long to go here at Grayland Park. Vogel. Oh, nice little interchange of passing between the big man and then an offload from Mackenzie Cutter. Played decent minutes today as Mackenzie Cutter. Again, he's the dummy half. Vogel holding it up, double pump, and Leo Sevi, well, yeah, I was going to say, I thought he got away with one there, but not on this occasion. So off the scrum, Richmond, Kohiva with a bit of footwork. Just about got him between defenders, and play on is the call from referee Elliott. And a strip in there. Now there's a Bay player down on back play. That's Ezekiel Paul. So Ezekiel's going to make his way from the field in back play, and we'll have time off.
Sure it's not Peter's heartbeat.
If you live in the Grayland Park area and you're mowing your lawn right now, I'm starting to pick up a bit of audio there. Please turn it off and consider starting again about 5 minutes. You may be hearing the humming in the background there.
And Bay Roskill very, very short on their right-hand edge here.
Kohiva. In behind to Tofa Timotia, bit of footwork, a nice offload pop to look out. Sione Nahi wants 4. Nice offload back to Tofa Timotia. Then set upon by 3 Bay Roskill defenders. I'm all on board for the Sione 4. Let's get the campaign moving. Front of the SAS uprights.
Nice quick play the ball by the big man.
Kohiva back to Harrison Sutton.
Look out for Sione Nahi here, number 10. A little bit of a ruck play, is it? No, they've gone the opposite way.
In front of the SAS uprights, spun onto his back. Look out, our man Sione's lining up for another carry. What do we got here? It goes to Nahi. Nahi, oh, the chip, the chase, and just about out of it. I tell you what, the commentary box would have exploded if he'd scored off the grubber there.
It's actually a nice kick there too, Corey. Well done. He put that kick in better than some of the halfbacks in the competition. No disrespect there, but well played by number 10, Sione Nahi. He's been an outstanding player in the Richmond team. Unfortunately, they've lost today, but he's put his hand up there and scored a couple tries.
There you go. Ben Henry's getting 3 or 4 Dally M points. Sione, you've got my vote to get the remaining ones. Superb today. In the engine room. Does the kicking, does the try scoring. Kossi. Harrison Sutton. 58-32, the game's over, but Richmond a chance to restore some pride here at the deaths. Tupai steps back in field, taken down just short of the line. The Waterview Laundromat Bulldogs on the attack. Henry to Tofa Timotia. Sutton. Short as the call.
Where's Sione Nahi?
The ruck is cleared. It's messy. Finds the edge back rower and then bringing in the 16 there, William Tutai. Last play. Give it to Sione. He's going to first receiver. He's burrowing Sione Nahi. Pops the offload. And I think he's got an assist. No, he hasn't. Great scramble from Bay Roskill.
Yeah, great defence, try-line defence here by Bay Roskill. But again, Sione Nahi's the danger man. I haven't seen a prop on that inside that 10-metre scrum line for a long, long time, Corey. So he obviously thought he was in for a chance there. Great last-minute offload. And almost came away with the chocolates on that one.
I think he might have an earpiece when he's listening to the commentary, because dead set, the bloke's running to first receiver on last tackles. It's great to see. I admire the confidence.
Looking a little bit tired, those out on that right-hand edge for Richmond in this defensive set.
Leave the tackling to the other guys. Sione, you're a skill player, my friend. Disappear to the wing for a rest. Timothy Vogel, the dummy half.
It's like reliving my my rugby league career, Corey, in the middle on attack. Out on the edges, we see a break here by Bay Roskill.
Corey Vogel streaking away, the cover coming across, gets to his kick. Now a bouncing ball, which is going to go right into the lens of Pete's filming down there. Shout out to our man Pete. Siren goes in the background. An entertaining one here at Greyland Park. Bay Roskill 58. Waterview Laundromat Richmond Bulldogs 32. A short break for us before we are joined by the captains pitch side.
Do you know who the captain is?
Get the camera on, please.
Right, joined now by Harrison Sutton. Well, Harrison, an unfortunate defeat in the end there. Showed a little bit of character, though. I think overcame sort of 14-point disadvantages at different times. You must be pleased with the character, even though the result wasn't what you wanted.
Oh yeah, we're pretty disappointed, to be honest. We did show character and points, but we need to show it throughout the whole game. It should be 8-minute sport, 8-minute game. So yeah, a bit disappointed there, but good signs here and there, but overall not great.
Large periods there where Bay Roskill just had all the momentum. Can you put your finger on sort of what was causing that?
The shift's pretty good, Jerome, that long ball was getting us a few times, but I think that was just fatiguing our middle. Obviously we try to practice it on Thursday, but when it comes to the real thing, we just didn't break through.
Obviously not the result you wanted, Harrison, but an awesome day here to honour Carol Redmond. You must be super proud of the club and the way they turned out today.
Oh yeah, definitely proud of the club, and yeah, obviously here to do things for Carol, and obviously disappointed with the loss, but yeah, big ups to Bay Roskill, they did well today.
Awesome, Harrison, thanks for joining us, and all the best for the next few weeks, mate.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, now joined by Jerome Ropati. Well, Jerome, last week I think you mentioned that the style didn't quite come off. Is it fair to say this week it did?
Yeah, you could say that. I think we've been working on that for a while. And I think the style itself, our players enjoy it. And I think it's the conventional style of going up with a good forward pack. We don't have the depth in the forward pack, so we're going to shift it with our fast guys on the outside. It's an enjoyable brand of footy, and I think it's a good one to watch. And credit to our boys, we stuck with it.
How important was it today to have Sheneth and Ben back, two really good players, but also key positions in that spine?
Yeah, great leadership, those two. They've been around for a while, and they've worked with the team. I think that the relationship that they have with the rest of the team is key. We had Matt White join us as well on the left edge there, and we've Sean up in the middle. Our young guys, Josh and Corey Vogel, they're doing a good job for us, and we're just going to carry on that style, and the boys enjoy it, so we're going to enjoy it as well.
It's easy for us to see the guys that are scoring the tries and make the most of them, but talk to us about some of the unsung heroes, because your forward pack seems to play really well to the style right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean, Victor, Mackenzie, even Joe Leoseve, they just do a wonderful job for us. Even Issy do a wonderful job at the middle. I mean, you can't go wide unless you've got some sort of threat in the middle. And they're a constant threat. They've got footwork. They may not have the size, but they've got the hard work. They've got the dedication, commitment, and we needed that from them today after last week, and they did a good job for us.
Awesome, Jerome. Great performance from yourself today. Congratulations on the win, and we're going to see you again next week at the home of the Vikings. So we'll see you then.
Cheers, Corey. Appreciate it.
That's what I'm talking about. Wait. Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.